James, I'll start with you, actually. Should you be able to smack your own child?
Well, I don't favour it myself, but I do defend the right of parents to punish their children free from the interference of the state. I think it's a very serious precedent to set. We already know that in Scotland, the government was unsuccessful, thankfully, in trying to appoint a guardian separate from the parents for children in Scotland. We also know that the Tavistock Clinic in London would rather not tell parents, or bodies like the Tavistock Clinic would rather not tell parents if their children at a certain age want to change sex or change gender. And therefore we're looking at a broad context here of the whittling away of parental rights. I put it to you that if I have a 4-year-old grandchild, if I see him throwing litter on the street, I'm not going to give him a cuff around the ears. But if I see him doing it again and again and again till he's 13, there's going to come a moment when reasoning may not just be the only thing that you can do. And, you know, the talk that I should be rehabilitated in Wales, if I was living there, if the police judged that my cuff, or tapping, as one of your correspondents had it, was actually within the bounds of the law, and therefore I should go on a course to learn how to deal with my child when they misbehave. No, 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 that's a bridge too far.
Mary-Ann, should we be able to smack kids?
No, we shouldn't. It makes sense to kind of bring this law into line. Scotland has banned any kind of physical punishment of children a couple of years ago, so it's only England and Northern Ireland dragging its heels. We're in the 21st century. We know that, you know, hurting, you know, you wouldn't be able to do it to your spouse. You wouldn't be able to do it to a boyfriend or girlfriend. You can't do it at work. Why would we think that smacking a child, a minor, a vulnerable individual in your own home, whether they're your flesh or blood, whether you have legal guardianship over them, it just seems really baffling. And of course, I have 2 children, and there are moments where you kind of think, OK, my patience is being tested, and I'm not, at that point, if I'm feeling angry or upset, that is not the time to raise my hand to my child. What am I teaching them? If they did that at school or nursery, they would rightly get punished. If I did it to another adult, I could get done for assault. Why should I be allowed to do it to a child? Of course I shouldn't.
Well, David, of course you shouldn't. Do you agree?
No, of course. This ban is ridiculous. I mean, this is another sort of another move to take us in the wrong direction. You know, I mean, parents have had the choice of how they can discipline their children for millennia, and like James said, I totally agree. This is the state interfering with the family again. But not all parents want to smack their children. That's fine. They can make up the choice if they don't want to do that. But some parents do want to.
But where's the line then, David?
Well, I mean, the line is abuse. And so the thing is, with this report and sort of what people were saying in the Welsh Parliament, is they're conflating punishment or discipline, which is mild and for the edification of a child to bring them up in the right way, with abuse. Now, of course, abuse is wrong. Where, you know, you just beat someone for no reason, with no purpose, really, really hard. We all know what abuse is. But, you know, a light punishment, light physical discipline will teach a child, you know, what's wrong. And you might need to do that immediately for something, you know, in some situations.
I know the difference between right and wrong, and I was not hit in order to learn that.
Good for you. I was smacked, you know, a little bit, one tap on the hand or something. And I think my mother brought me up well, too. So
the wider thing here is, you know, do we believe that all adult behaviour is determined in the first few years of life and so on, and that, you know, that children are, as you said, Mary-Ann, you know, vulnerable. Obviously they're vulnerable as children, but are they any more vulnerable than for the fact that they're young and small and all of these things? We're discussing this moment at a moment when the Ukraine, including young teenagers and so on, are learning to take up arms for freedom. And therefore, you know, we need to have a discriminating attitude to violence, and we need to be able to say that when push comes to shove, some disciplinary measures, some group cohesion, some societal norms, like the millennia to which David rightly refers, how we have brought up children in the past, you don't just flout them when the stakes are so high in Ukraine and the way that they're going in Britain as well. You do have to discuss them, and we do have to make sure that the state is not given any more power over our personal lives than the kind of powers that it acquired during the COVID incident.
I'm not sure what it's got to do with Ukraine, but I think, you know,
Quite a lot.
If we're going, well, back in the day, I used to be able to string my kid up until he couldn't breathe. We used to send them down mines. You used to be able to rape your wife. We don't do that stuff anymore, and rightly so. And rightly so, there is a legal, the statutory framework that sets out certain social norms that I don't know if you two are quite, with the rest of the nation.
Wow.
I'd love to condescension.
I might say the same about you. I think there's a majority. I mean, as you did say, it was only 38% against,
Down
which
the
means
wormhole.
62% were for, keeping the right to smack children. So I think, maybe we are in the majority.
Well, you tell me. Mary-Ann reckons that James and David don't represent the views
Dinosaurs.
Of the nation. Are these just two old dinosaurs?
That's right.
To my left and right?
Or
Let
could
me
you be
know.
putting the pat in patronising, Mary-Ann?
The pat in patronising. Do you see what
Or
he
the
did
con in
there?
condescension?
Yeah, all right. He's going to keep going on. I'm going to go to a break.